Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in, I'm going to pull my two doors that I made out. I'm going to go back inside that storage space. I'm going to crawl behind this wall here, and the goal is to insulate the part behind this wall over here. That is not lit back in there right now. It's all dark, and it's a little tiny crawl space. So before I do any insulation, I'm going to go in there and wire that and have a light switch in here. I'm thinking I left the wire hanging down right here, so I'm thinking I'll put a box here with a light switch and run the wire in there, and then run lights out both sides of that storage space so that you can walk in here, flip the light switch, and then pull these things out and head right on in there and put stuff away and then come back out. So first thing I'll do is get me a light and a drop cord, crawl back in there and light everything up, and then find my electrical stuff and set it all up, and I'll go from there. Okay, here I go. I'm going to crawl on in the back of here and show you. Well, maybe I'm not going to crawl in. Yeah, I'm going to have to move some stuff before I crawl in. That's okay though. That's what I kind of expected that. And that's part of the process here is figuring out where things are and where things need to go. So let me move a few things out of the way here so I can get back in there. Okay, I moved some of these old bedsteads and things out of the way, and that's basically what's back here is doors, bedsteads, headboards, bed rails. This is the kind of space that'd be really easy to ignore, but you know, it's good usable storage space if it's lit and cleaned up, and that's what I'm going to plan to do, is get it lit and get it cleaned up and have it be usable. One thing I'll say is I can really feel a difference back in here. You know, I made those little insulated doors for a reason, and that reason was because this part of the house is not insulated. This is the part of the house where the air does kind of circulate. This is also the part of the house where the old roof is. I got it all covered up in insulation now, so you really can't see it, but the old cedar shingle roof is up in there, and this is the part of the house that isn't insulated, and I need to get it insulated. But what I'm going to do before I do anything else here is I'm going to hang me a light right up here that works off the light switch. Now the other side of this wall is my upstairs in my back storage room, which will one day be my banjo shop. That's where I'm going to kind of put my banjo shop eventually. And it's wired, and it would be really easy to wire a light right in here, right off that, but you'd have to crawl in here to turn it on, and that's not what I want. I want to have a light switch that I can throw that will light all this up. And I guess I ought to think about where I want to put a light, because if I put it up there, it doesn't light this part down here. Maybe I ought to put the light right along in here in order to let it light up this whole area. That seems like that might be the better choice. And I've also just got to figure out, I have some insulation along in here, so I kind of need to figure the insulation out, but I'll just do one thing at a time. I guess first thing I'll do is get a light up in here, bring a light in here, and maybe I'll mount it right along on the side of this beam right over here, and then we'll go from there. That'll be a good job. Okay, I got my work done for today. I thought I'd show you what I did. I went ahead and insulated this wall. You might remember before it was just wooden slats and there were cracks between them. I took some of that insulation board I had out in the barn and insulated this. And then I took this wire and ran it into a box, split it off, put it into a light switch, and then split that out two different ways so that I've got lights in here in my storage space now. That way and that way. And they work off the switch so that you know, you can come in here and throw a switch and go back in there and do what you need to do. I'll clean this up better later, but it's not bad. You know, it's not a boatload of storage space, but like if you look down there, those are yeah, I made up some window plastic things, you know, which you could put over your windows in the wintertime. There's a door in there, there's a screen door, there's a bedstead leaned up in front of there. That's the same thing these are. Old oak bedsteads and some bed rails down there, so I can get this all cleaned up, and it'll make a nice storage space for those kind of things that you you know, kind of want to have around your house, but don't know what to do with exactly. Give you a place to put them. What I'll probably do is lay some old blankets or some old rugs down here in the floor. That'll give me a little extra insulation down to the house. This is actually filled with fiber insulation. But what I did on the other side is I took some old industrial blankets and put down so that when you go back in there, you don't have to walk on your knees on that hard surface. It's a lot easier. So, and it also gives a little extra insulation there. So anyway, that's enough work for one day. I'm going to close this area up, turn the lights out, go downstairs, clean up, and call it a day. Y'all take care.